Okay, for this next step, step 4, we're going to make our third and final box using two-point linear perspective. And we're going to be doing it on the bottom of our paper below eye level. So we're going to be doing it the same way we started these. We're going to start with the center line that divides the box into the two faces that we see most directly. And because it's going to be completely below our eye level, we're going to be seeing the top of the box too. So with your ruler and your pencil, you're going to draw in that vertical line, just like we did on this box and this box. Let's put the ruler, I'm going to put it at 5 again on the horizon line. I'm going to move it maybe about 2 inches away from the left-hand edge of the first box that we drew. We're going to make it 2 inches tall again, so I'm going to draw the line starting below 5 inches by, let's make it 1 inch below, so starting at 6 and going to 8. All right, so there's 2 inches there, and it's parallel to the side edges of the paper and at a 90-degree angle to the horizon line. It should always be set up that way. Otherwise, you're going to have more difficulty making it look believable. Yeah, not everything is always straight up and down. Some things do tilt and turn. It just creates a little bit more challenge. And if you're an advanced level student, it's easier to do than if you're a beginner. From the bottom of that line, we're going to do a line that goes back to the left-hand vanishing point for the bottom left of the box. And you don't need to go all the way to the vanishing point. I'm going to stop about there, but it should go all the way to there. Why go all the way to the vanishing point if we're just going to end up erasing it? But you want to make sure that it does or would go all the way to the vanishing point if you continued that guideline. And then we're going to do the same thing from the top of the vertical line that separates the faces. I'm going to go put my pencil at the top of that line, put my ruler up against it, put my ruler in alignment with the vanishing point at the left, and I'm going to draw my line, and I'm stopping about the same distance that I did, a little bit less than I did with the other one. So it doesn't matter because we're just going to have that box by itself, not overlapping anything, because we left enough space to do that. So now we've drawn in part of it. Remember, you could have drawn all the way to the vanishing point. That just gives me more erasing to do. Now we're going to go from the same place where the top met up, the top of that vertical line met up with the top edge. We're going to put our pencil at that point again and put our ruler up against it and go to the right-hand vanishing point over here. Okay, so put them on there, line them up, and then make sure that you go right to the vanishing point when you draw your line. And I'm going to go ahead and go all the way to the vanishing point because I'm so much closer to this one than that one. I want to make sure I have enough of the edge drawn in place. And I'm doing it at the bottom of the line, going back to the vanishing point again. I want to line everything up. Remember, it's easiest if you have your pencil right on the point where you want to start, and then put your ruler up against it. All right? If you're not talking and if you're paying attention, it's easier to do than if you're talking like I am. All right, so now I've got my two edges started. I want to put in the back edge that's parallel to the vertical line at the front. So the easiest way, once again, is put your ruler right at that vertical line and move it over the distance that you think it needs to go. Remember, we want to make it look kind of like a cube, so I'm going to move it back this way so the distance from this line to this point to that point is less than this one visually, okay? And then that looks pretty good. So now I want to make sure my ruler is straight up and down at a 90-degree angle to the horizon line, parallel to the front edge, and connect the top line to the bottom line with the back edge of the cube. And I do it at the right-hand side, but I'm going less distance because I'm so close to that vanishing point. I don't want to go back far, otherwise it'll look like a long box. I want to make it maybe about half of the distance as this one, going back in space. So I'm going to go to right about there. Put my ruler right on the front edge, and I'm going to move it over to where I want it to stop. Make sure it's 90-degree angle to the horizon line, parallel to this edge, parallel to the paper. If you check all that stuff first before you draw the line, you're going to have fewer chances of error. Now I've got the side face at the right, the side face at the left. Now we need to draw in the top face of the box because it's below our eye level. And I can tell it's completely below our eye level because this back edge and this back edge are both well below the horizon line. So I'm going to go from the right-hand vanishing point at the back, right-hand corner of the box at its back edge. I'm going to go to the vanishing point at the left-hand side of the paper. So I put my ruler at that corner, put my pencil there, put my ruler on the vanishing point at the left, and draw my line in and I don't have to go all the way over. I can stop early, right? I don't need to go all the way over. I'm going to do the same thing from this corner where this line meets up with this vertical line. I'm going to go back to that vanishing point there. So remember, put your pencil there, put your ruler up against your pencil, and I'm just going to draw the line from front to back now. I don't need to go beyond that because I would just erase all those lines anyway. So here's the right side of my box, the left side of my box, and the top side of my box. So I've got the three faces that I see using 2-point linear perspective. Once you've finished your box, erase the guidelines that you did use, leave the box, and then label it below EL. Okay, so below EL means it's below your eye level. Make sure you erase everything. Go to the next one where I'm going to show you how to do value building for each of the boxes. Make sure you've done all your erasing and your line drawing before you get to that.